Hey guys, welcome to today's video. On today's video, I want to share an interview that I did with a guy named Julian about his amazing hair regrowth recovery by participating in Rapid Regrowth program. And basically what happened is that he was able to solve his hair loss. And before he reached out to me, he already had been on the treatment with Ru588, Dutasteride, Finasteride, and even Minoxidil, but it was not working, and he was shedding hair because he was having scalp inflammatory problems. So here is his interview.
I was diffusely thinning in the Norwood 7 area, and I was completely bald in my temples and in my crown. And on top of that, I also had some kind of retrograde alopecia. And for those who don't know, this means that you're diffusely thinning on the sides and on the back of your head. So even a hair transplant would be not an option anymore. So that's why I reached out to Alex in order to finally get my hair loss problem solved before I will go bald.
To clarify, when you started to lose hair quite early, right, in your life, if I remember correctly, Julian, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I was losing my hair at the age of 15, and I was a very aggressive bolder. So I was in Norwood 3 at the age of 17. I was still in school back then, and at the age of 18, I was able to take Finasteride, and I wouldn't advise anyone to take it when you're younger than 18. And I also added topical Minoxidil into my stack, and I got a lot of regrowth with that. But after some time, I got a huge dread shed, and I don't mean the typical Minoxidil or Finasteride initial shed that you will get, because I was on that stack for a very long time when I got this shedding. But I've lost so many hairs, and I thought maybe it's due to the DHT and just is so sensitive to it. So I will have to take oral Dutasteride and added topical Ru58841, which is an androgen receptor blocker, into my stack, and also did some microneedling, and my hair situation got worse and worse. Maybe you can show the shedding rate that I was having every single day.
Yeah, sure.
This was my shedding rate when I was just showering my hair. And so my scalp was completely inflamed at that time. And I also didn't know that I had some dermatitis and was eating a lot of trigger foods, had some nutrition deficiencies and all these things going on. So I already knew that it's not just only the DHT that's causing my hair loss. And that's why I reached out to Alex.
Your shedding that you are having, was it sheds? Was do you at any time counted how many hairs you actually were shedding during that time, Julian?
I mean, can you count the hairs in the picture? You can see that I wasn't even able to count the hairs. So actually, I could just rub with my hand through my hair and all see these whole hairs falling out. And I mean, this hair fall was insane. And even when I didn't use my treatments, I didn't have that much hair fall. So that's quite interesting.
Yes, no, it's because you had a very aggressive treatment, right? So that's the other thing. With treatment when you are 17 with Minoxidil, right?
No, we started using it at age 18 too. So Finasteride and Minoxidil, like the gold standard stack for hair loss.
Right, I see. And you did have some results to begin with, right?
Yeah, I did have awesome results to begin with. But as you can see, my scalp was completely inflamed. In this picture, you can see it's very red. Also had some flakes on my scalp. So it's like if you try to plant a tree, if you can't even grow a tree if like the floor or the ground is completely unhealthy. It's like when you're growing hairs on your scalp. If your scalp health is just completely messed up, you won't be able to regrow your hair.
No, that's correct. Because again, the skin is or scalp is foundation, right? And if there are issues like you are having, it's very hard to see any results from treatments. For sure. Let's see. And this one here is your frontal part. Like it's a wet picture, right?
Yeah, this was my crown at the age of 19, almost 20 in this picture. So as you can see, it was a very aggressive bald, and even if I wouldn't have acted quickly, I would have been completely bald right now.
Right. And do you have genetic hair loss in your family as well, Julian?
Yeah, too. So my dad has hair loss and my grandfather has had hair loss, but my brother, who is like 2 years older than me, doesn't have any signs of hair loss. So he has a complete Norwood zero hairline.
All right, and so this is basically your situation after you started the program. You had solved scalp implementary problems, right?
Yeah, so you can see in this picture that my scalp is white right now, so no flakes, no oil. My scalp was always soaked in oil, and it's like completely healthy right now. So I was able to begin with my treatment stack, and you can actually see that I wasn't able to style my hair anymore, and just no density there, no hairline at all, no hairs in my crown. So I was always using these kind of hair fibers to cover it up. But yeah, this was the beginning of my second hair loss journey.
Right, I see. All right. And those pictures here is the results you have so far, right?
No, not the results that I've had so far. This was like after like 2.5 months in the program. So you can see that I was getting a lot of regrowth, but this was not the final result yet that I have right now.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. So this is
You've seen the
other.
picture before where my hair was wet, so I thought it would be a fair comparison to make my hair wet too, because now when my hair is dry, you can't really see that I'm balding in my crown, but you can make a fair comparison if my hair is wet too. In the second picture, you can see I have way more hair in my crown, and then I have a microscope and I can clearly see that there are still way more vellus hairs coming back in my crown. So it will be completely close with hairs, I think, in the future, because this is are not my these are not my final results. I will have like more than 1.5 year, maybe 2 years of growth. I can still see a lot of vellus hairs in my hairline and my crown. So these are not the final results. And even right now, I can wear my hair and nobody thinks that I have hair loss, even in my crown, because this is a picture with wet hair. When it's dry, it's obviously looks more dense.
Right, I see. All right. Because you did have a couple more pictures here, and those pictures here, how it is fit in timeline, and those are the new regrowth, right? That are happening
Yeah,
right
this
now.
is like my hairline right now. So you can clearly see that I have had a lot of improvement, and you can also see the vellus hairs right now that I'm still getting back. So I will be getting very close to like a Norwood 1, maybe Norwood 0 hairline if I look at the vellus hairs that I have close in the mirror. So this is not my final result, as you can see when you look at the vellus hairs.
Like this is just beginning, because again, like those here can become terminal, and the results can be so much better. So
even my shedding rate is under control right now. And I've talked to Alex before, and he said when he saw the first picture of the beginning of my hair loss journey that for ethical reasons he might not be sure if this result would have been possible, but it actually is. But it was a lot of work. Yeah, just look at the density. You can also show maybe the picture of my current hairstyle that I have.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, so this is the hairstyle that I have right now. You can clearly see that I have way more density. You also can see the vellus hairs coming back on my hairline. So this is not my final form. And it's just amazing to see, like after like half a year, how much hair you can actually be able to regrow, and just having so much density after having hair loss for like 5 or almost 6 years.
Yeah. Yes. No. It is a great results, Julian. Definitely awesome results. And like you did take action early, and you did address it, right? Because if you, like you said in the beginning here in the live stream, if you had waited a bit more, it was likely cause that you are not having this kind of results you are able to get so far. So.
Yeah, because some people forget that you have to act quickly when you have hair loss. These results look very amazing that I've had, but you have to realize I'm still quite young, and when you're waiting way longer, then you won't have these hair follicles anymore that are able to regrow. We'll just have this scar tissue, and on this scar tissue you can't grow your natural hair back. So you have to act quickly. That's why I decided to join the program. And as you can see, this was like the best decision that I could have done at that time.
Right. And how did the hair loss impacted your life, Julian? Like if you think back to those stages here when you did take pictures, those pictures.
I mean, of course, it was impacting my life. Otherwise, I would have just shaved off and not paid the money for the program. But if you're like 15 years old, like me, and you start balding, you will realize this is not the typical age where people start balding. Normally, it's like at their late 20s to early 30s. So you are like the only one in your friend group that's balding, and you will experience some very severe socio-psychological effects. And this means that you will not be, you actually will, first of all, you will look different, and everybody can see it. It was not, you cannot hide the hair loss that I've had in these pictures. And you will have problems with your confidence in your professional, dating, and social life. A lot of people that I know from also from the Rapid Regrowth program got very severe mental health issues like body dysmorphia. Some people got depressed. Luckily I didn't get depressed. I just had some insecurities, like for like half a year was always wearing these weird baseball caps. Also, this is not like a psychological or a cosmetical problem, because I obviously had some very strange physical health problems. Otherwise, my scalp and my skin, the skin in my face wouldn't have been so inflamed and always soaked in oil. So I also had nutrition deficiencies and all these things going on. So this was obviously impacting my life very badly. So I knew that I have had to solve it.
Right, I see. Yes. And like how things are now when you have been able to basically solve those problems, like now when you're here, you are having now at this stage here, like how does it feel, Julian?
So all these problems that I've talked about in the beginning, when I talked about how hair loss impacted my life, are just gone now. I've just joined the Rapid Regrowth program, got my customized plan, know what I have to do every single day in order to grow my hair back. And it's like solving these problems on autopilot. This is what the program has done to me.
Right. So, and like when you do follow a program itself, like when you do follow a Rapid program, like how do you find it? Like, is it like what could be done better, or do you have any suggestions regarding it, since you did take it a bit up?
So first of all, what is very great is that normally people start watching these hair loss videos until 3 a.m., watching one video after another, and they make hair loss their hobby. And what you can do in the Rapid Regrowth program is all this pain that you have, like these mental problems, the confidence that you don't have. You always see a scalp in the mirror and not your beautiful face. And you also have some physiological problems. All these problems will be solved if you just join the program, because you have a personalized plan. You know every single day what you have to do, and you also can have a very great customer support. Alex and his team answers very quick, and you have these calls with Alex where you can ask him questions directly. And also there are a lot of other people in the program too. So maybe there are people in the program who have the same hair loss issue that you have, the same underlying problems that causes the hair loss, and you can talk to them and learn what worked, what hasn't worked, and why. So actually, the Rapid Regrowth program right now for me is like knowing this hair loss scene for like almost 6 years. It's like the best program on the market for sure, and otherwise I wouldn't have got these great results. Right now, Alex has become a certificated trichologist, and all these people I've talked to in the program got real results just by doing the program. And me too. I mean, at the end of my teenage years, I thought it will be completely bald, and now you look at my hairline and you think, oh, I will have a very great hairline, even in the future when I get more regrowth. So I think there are just two things, it's just two thoughts that might hinder you from regrowing your hair. First of all, you think that a hair transplant is better than the program, which is completely wrong, because if you can't stabilize your hair loss, what will happen is that, yeah, the transplanted hair will grow back, but you will lose all the remaining hairs on your head. So you will have to pay way more money to get worse results. And this would have happened to me if I wouldn't have joined the program. And the second thought that might hinder you from solving your hair loss issue is that you think you can do it all alone, but obviously you wouldn't be watching this live stream or later the video if you know all the answers to your questions. So you will just waste so much time, losing so much hair in that period, and putting so much pressure on your mental health. Even if you could just join the program, know what to do every single day, have one person that you can ask your questions who can solve them. And then what I would advise them to do is just to book the free consultation, because it's the best thing you can do, because it's actually free. You can you will get a status quo analysis of your hair, what might be the potential diagnosis of your underlying problems that causes your hair loss. And also you will see how much hair you will be potentially be able to regrow. And so this is just a free consultation call. I would just advise anyone to do the call, because you will get free advice and you will have to pay nothing for it. So maybe if you upload this later, just put a link into the description box, Alex, so that people can click on the link, fill out this survey, and book an appointment and get the free consultation. I mean, if Alex could have helped me, I mean, at the age of 15, I was balding very aggressively and have had inflammation, dermatitis, and all these things going on. And I'm the only person in my environment that has had such an aggressive hair loss to this extent. So if he could have helped me, then he could definitely help you. So just do it. It's completely free, the consultation, so why not doing it, honestly?
Right. Awesome, Julian. Thanks for some great points here. But like you mentioned the hair transplant here as well, like what kind of made you made a decision that you wouldn't be a wise idea to make a hair transplant back then? Like what is kind of thinking process behind it?
Yeah, because I already knew that this wouldn't work. I've seen some pictures of people who were balding very young and they've made a hair transplant, but it didn't stop their hair loss in the first place. So they have some hairs in their temples where they have these transplanted hair, and then all the remaining hairs were falling out. So I would have to pay a lot of money in order to get worse results. But I knew from the past with the Finasteride Minoxidil stack that I was able to regrow hair. So I have already seen that this works. So this is why I knew that I would have to regrow my hair in order to get my hair back.
Right. And like when it comes to like regrowth itself, was at some point in the program you did mention that you kind of had a trouble shedding. Like what did happen during that time, Julian?
Yeah, so I was getting a lot of regrowth, and after some time, this was very interesting. The more terminal hairs started regrowing faster, and the more like these vellus hairs were very weak. They started falling out again. I was still in the program, and luckily I had Alex, so a person that I could ask about why this happened. And actually, I was eating some trigger foods again because of some stress that I've had. So just choose the foods that are like easy to eat and wasn't cooking all the meals, even though I had a perfect meal plan from Alex. And so and I also had some stress. So all these vellus hairs, I mean not all of them, but most of them were shedding out again. But the more terminal hairs were regrowing. So this is like a clear sign, even though my hair loss stack itself didn't change, my hair loss treatment stack, the underlying cause is just caused my hair to shed out again. So this was I had Alex to ask these questions to regrow it back.
When that happened, like when you basically got back to your diet plans that I had set up for you, like how long did it take for you to stop that shed and start to see new values here, activity to get back or come back?
I mean, it took me like 2 to 4 weeks to stop the shedding completely. Obviously, because the hairs are now in the telogen phase, and then I was regrowing my hair very fast afterwards. So I knew that my hairs were getting darker, and just after maybe like 6 weeks, I was sending a picture to Alex, and we were seeing that the regrowth, and like after another month or so, the gap was closing again. So just took some time, but if you have all the underlying problems under control, then you will be able to regrow your hair back.
Right. And how was like because everyone kind of focuses on typical angles such as DHT, growth stimulation, anti-androgens, like but how much would you say has how huge impact has, for example, your diet and your stress and your, let's say, your lifestyle on your hair? Like how big percentage is it for you, Julian, compared
so
to
if
medication?
you also include using the wrong solvents, because there are some solvents that just clog your pores. This was my problem, because this also caused my scalp always to have these weird flakes. But I think that the hair loss I got from the inflammation and dermatitis, the clogged pores and trigger foods and all that stuff was way worse. If you look at the pictures, the shedding pictures, than just because of the DHT. So the shedding from DHT was quite strong because I was a very aggressive bolder from a young age, from an early age. But the hair loss from inflammation and dermatitis and all these things was way worse, definitely.
No, that's a huge difference you have here, Julian. And I like especially your vertex or crown area as well, because you can see that you have first of all terminal hairs that are covering it up, but also some pictures that you shared with me, I think a month ago or 1.5 months ago, in the Skype message. You could see a lot of vellus activity, and that's also very nice signs. It will most likely keep filling in if you keep doing its treatment and don't end up having any triggers as you did a couple of months ago. So.
Yeah, so I definitely think if I look into if I use the microscope and I look into the pictures, that my crown is full of vellus hairs. So I do think that I will be able to regrow all of my hair in my crown. So I talked to Alex that we will most likely make an update video about this, so you can just see my journey and see how my crown is also regrowing. So getting back from almost bald to having a full head of hair.
Do you feel it easy? Do you feel the program is easy to implement and follow the action steps? Could you tell a bit about that part as well?
Yeah, because you have a plan for like every single day, and so you actually look into the plan at every single time of the day, what you have to do. Even if you think about what should I eat to avoid the trigger foods, Alex will make a personalized meal plan for you. If you don't know what solvents to use, what treatments to use to regrow back your hair, Alex has a plan for that. If you can't regrow back your hair with Minoxidil, Alex has an other growth stimulant stack for that you can make yourself. And for every problem that you will have, Alex has had a solution to it. So I think this was very convenient, because every time I had a question, even though, for example, when I was losing my hair again in my crown and on my temples, because of this stressful event and the trigger foods, I already know that I don't have to stress out about this. I can just ask Alex. He knows what to do, and also myself also got educated way more. So even after the program, you can just know if you have a stressful event or you have eaten some trigger foods and now you're losing some hairs. So you will be educated enough to know why you have been shedding these hairs, and you know how to regrow them back. So it's not just you will be having regrowth in the rapid regrow program, and afterwards you will lose all of your hairs. Even though you get a maintenance plan after that, you will be educated enough for every possible hair loss trigger, and you will know how to solve it.
Yes, no, that's correct, Julian. Yes, and like, because the hair loss, like, the thing with hair loss is that I have had all of those issues you can experience as well, right? And
Yeah, just at a younger age.
Yes. So I had to find a solution to them. But basically, my goal with the program is to make guys understand the issue and become self-sufficient, so they are able to, like you said, have a knowledge and right tools to address and contract those different problems that can happen, right? And right now, after you had that stress related hair loss that you had a couple months ago, you now know how to handle the stress because you had a stress management tools in the program, and you also know how to manage your mindset. And also, when it comes to trigger foods, you know exactly what is triggers for you and how you can contract it. Let's say detox your body, for example, if it's needed, and overcome the problem and get back on the track and keep progressing.
And you mean you can still look it up after the program, because you still have your plan, and you can look up the things that you want to know. So if you afterwards want to educate yourself about this topic, you can still do it, and always look it up.
Yes, and the other thing is that I continue updated, right? So basically, if there are new problems that comes up that I was not aware of before, I keep adding them to the program. And same as, for example, group recordings, so I keep adding them. So there is always resources, and it's like the way I have done it now, it's very easy to search up different problems. So if you, for example, itchiness of the scalp, then you just go into your program, Julian, and you just search it up, right? And you easily find, okay, this could be causing it, this could be causing it, this is a solution, this is a solution.
Yeah, this is great, because most people don't know that you don't just get one plan forever. You would just get, so how it works is that it makes a huge onboarding process with, like, you will have to answer a lot of questions about your health situation and potential triggers. And Alex will make a customized plan for you and make a huge onboarding where, like, we were talking for like 1 or 1.5 hours about how to use the plan. And every month I get an update on this, because first of all, we had to solve the dermatitis. Afterwards, we had to solve the inflammation, and then the potential trigger foods. So there was a lot going on there. And we have to just solve one problem at a time, and then move on and solve the next problem. And I think this is the best way, because normally if you reach out to other people, they would give you one consultation, like one call or something like that, and then they will move on, but you still have a lot of other triggers. And with the Rapid Regrowth program, you will always be updated and be back on track. So I think this is seriously the best program on the market for knowing the health scene since 6 years.
Yes, no, it is awesome what results you have been able to get, Julian. And I feel proud of your results, and also I'm happy to have had you in program as well. Right? Definitely, it was like, the thing is that each time I have a new member in the program, I learn new things, right, and learn how to make the program more efficient. So it's because there is always, like you said, common elements for each one, and then there is elements that are different, and sometimes those different elements I have to do additional research to find a solution for them. And because of it, basically each time someone joins the program, it becomes more efficient, and one can see results faster if one is implementing and addressing the right problems.
Yeah, and actually, if you don't know this, you can work with Alex directly or in a group. I personally did the group version, and every call that Alex makes in the beginning, he makes like a small presentation about the most asked questions at the time. So even in the presentation, I already got more knowledge on how to solve my hair loss, and the presentation has really helped. And also always asking Alex the questions to keep back on track. This was very important, actually. Yeah.
Right. So you do enjoy presentations, Julian, right?
Yeah, it's because it was not a random presentation that you couldn't relate to. It was always, I mean, I thought that you were just taking the most frequently asked questions back then, and then you were making the presentation, so it was actually for everybody.
Right. Because my thinking behind presentations is to try to find a common elements that all could kind of be interesting for all of you, and if there is something very extraordinary that I take on presentations, then it is more like in the case someone has the problem in the future, right? But the presentation itself is like I try to dive deeper into the problem and what can happen, how to understand it, and afterwards what is possible solutions for it. I can present a couple different pathways for it. So because I can, there is a variable such as skin type, such as age, such as other possible underlying problems, right? So there always has to be a couple different pathways or a couple different solutions for it. So it's not kind of just one way approach, because it won't work if there are other variables that can affect results. So.
Yeah, I mean, also the program gets better every single time, because even at the time where I was in the program, you were always updating it, adding more resource files. I was once asking this question about potential solvents for like minoxidil, and you were just adding a new resource file about every potential minoxidil solution that you could use for your different scalp type. Or for example, if your scalp is very oily, you would need another one, then another solvent. Than if your scalp is completely dry and flaky. Yes, because I did a mistake in the past where I was using some solutions for like propylene glycol, and these were completely had completely clogged my pores, and my hair was falling out afterwards. So every time Alex, you have a question for Alex, he makes a presentation for it. He will answer the question very quick, and also adding more resource files for you.
Yes, no, thanks for sharing all this, Julian. So, and that was basically all I wanted to kind of take up in today's presentation. Do you have any final words for today, Julian? Do you want to share with us?
I mean, like I've said, stop scrolling through your feed until 3 a.m. and making hair loss your hobby. Just solve it. Join the program. If Alex could have helped me, then he can help you definitely, because I'm like the most aggressive bowler I know. And I mean, it was so much fun to work in the program and see this brand growing. So just click on the link. Maybe if you put a link in the description box, fill out the survey and book an appointment. It's a free consultation. You get so much knowledge, like the status quo analysis, or how much hair you will be able to regrow, what might be the potential triggers of your hair loss. So just click on the link and book the free appointments. You will have to pay no money for that, so it's great.
All right, thank you, Julian. Yeah, it was, like I said, great to have you in the program. And I'm also amazed about your results, because when I did see your before pictures, I was actually surprised how bad situation you had back then. So because when you did reach out to me, you didn't show me pictures back then. So
yeah, I did show you old pictures, but not the current ones. So
yes,
so I love that feedback, and we will definitely make an update video on this topic. So
yes. No, I look forward to it, Julian, because again, like I said on the last group call as well, is that when you have results, they keep improving, and it is something that can keep to improve up to 24 months. If you don't have anything that gives you a setback, right? So if you don't have any setback for 24 months, and you basically reach the peak results, and then of course you just need to maintain those peak results and don't do anything that can compromise and cause the hair fall out again.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
if you do that, then basically you will have a smooth journey for next 15 months maybe from the current timeline. So, and like if you are up to it, then we could do, for example, let's say 12 months update or 6 months from now, and then we could do again 6 months if you are up to it, Julian. That would be awesome. So.
Yeah, definitely. So, so also for the other people to see the regrowth journey, so so that you don't just see the pictures, you can actually see the story behind it and share the journey.
Right.
Because
exactly.
normally people don't believe it. Normal people don't believe it. I knew that you could help me because of the videos that you were sharing, and it seemed very credible to me, the things that you've said, especially when you talked about scalp health and all this stuff. And I looked into the mirror and saw that my scalp was completely red, and all the people in my environment thought, because of all this fear and misinformation out there about hair loss, that this must be a scam too. And then they advised me to just shave it off and look like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, was like a 6'5" Jack dude on steroids. This is garbage. Like telling an old lady with short hair, just grow it out and you will look like Angelina Jolie. This is garbage. So actually, I completely believed in this program till this day and want to see this brand growing. So just join it.
Awesome.
To see
there's no, like, you have also great points there, because like when it comes to, like, if you didn't address the problem, you kind of ignore it, what will happen is that you most likely would have some other health related problems later, because let's say for example, you have deficiencies in something, your scalp got inflamed, that's very easy. So it can trigger also inflammatory responses, not just on the scalp but other areas as well. And
I did make a blood test because you advised me to do so, and I had some nutrition deficiencies, and also the CRP markers, which is a marker for inflammation, were way too high. So this is definitely not healthy, and also improves your overall health mentally and physically, and it also will look way better.
Yes, no, that's great. Like it's not about the hair, but it is so much more. So because it's like the hair is something that gets affected by everything, and it is like a indicator how body itself is. Like if your hair is in the bad states, and most likely also there is other problems. Right? If the hair is in awesome states, it's likely body itself is quite okay as well. So.
All right.
Yes. All right, Julian. Thanks for sharing, and it was awesome to have you on this live stream. I will stop for now because we have run out of time, and I look forward to hear back from you in upcoming future. So.
All right.